Greetings. Today is January 16th. Happy MLK Day for those who celebrate. And today we're going to talk about narcissism and more specifically entertaining narcissists. And I have a special guest with me today. My oldest love. And she's going to read the definition of narcissist.
Narcissist, a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. Narcissistic personality disorder is found more commonly in men. The cause is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Symptoms include an excessive need for admiration, disregard for others' feelings, an inability to handle any criticism, and a sense of entitlement.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
It's funny that this definition points out men or tries to say, oh, men is the common factor for being narcissist, but no, there are tons of women that I work with today who are very narcissistic. So for them to say just men, I think that needs to be updated. But we'll talk about that a little later.
So like I said, this is my oldest love. So she totally pulled my thought because I was just like, with social media, it appears that there has been an increase in women with narcissism based on the likes, the conversations online, the fantasy that is portrayed, right? The fantasies that are portrayed of this is the life I'm living, every day somebody's traveling, all these things being posted about this, I'm better than you, and the keeping up with the Joneses, or making sure that I'm of status quo of whatever today's trends are, is constantly being posted with social media. And I would like to say that social media has increased narcissism in our society because of the competition and the wanting to be validated by others or approved, and the acceptance. Another part of narcissism with this thinking I'm better than somebody else is this sense of entitlement that a lot of people are growing up with, males and females, just being raised to think that they are entitled to certain things, and not just the entitlement, the expectation that everybody is just going to do whatever for them. And whether it's school, especially in the public school arena, or parental upbringing, there's a lot of this mindset that says, I'm better than you, I expect you to do what I want on my terms, this is my truth, I'm going to do me, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And these things are not conducive to meaningful relationships, especially with the manipulation factor. And this is something that was not defined in the definition, but narcissists are very effective manipulators. They will use your words against you as if they were their own words. They will show a lot of rejection by pulling themselves away, access to themselves, giving you what you need in the relationship. And they'll even raise narcissistic kids. So it's quite taxing to be with a narcissist. And narcissists usually cling to empaths. And the empaths are people who see the good in a person and can overlook the narcissistic spirit of the person. It's a spirit like the spirit of Mammon. The spirit of mammon is the love of money, the love of things, the gluttony for having things or the ability to get things. And narcissism, as a friend told me, is the closest thing to Satan. And I was looking at the vanity of it all. The control, the manipulation, the anger outspurts of when I don't get my way, the selfishness, I'm going to use you at all costs, and I don't care about what you got to go through. I don't care how your life's turned upside down based on what I want in the relationship and what I'm not going to give you in the relationship to discipline you or punish you for trying to stand up for yourself. And to be honest, the only way to get rid of a narcissist or to turn the table is to leave them alone and not feed them. Not feed them that emotion of them being able to manipulate your emotions, control you, anger you, bring you on the highs and lows. You have to get rid of that control factor. And the sad reality is that they don't even see it. They're blinded by it. And this is the key. This is why it's so hard for narcissists to heal. And I'm saying this because in one relationship, I was a narcissist and didn't realize it. Narcissists often have a childhood trauma that occurred, and it never resolved, and grew up feeling less than. And often narcissists hate themselves, and so they can't love anybody else because they hate themselves. And again, it's a spirit on them, so they're blinded by their actions. They don't even know what they're doing. Thus, empaths can see the person behind the spirit and want to nurture and love, but until that narcissist hits that wall of the common denominator is me, and want to change and want better for their kids. I tell you, my oldest love is what pulled me out of narcissism. I was looking at, her and going through these depressed moments, and I've said it before, I've had suicidal moments in the past during those depressed times, and it was just like, you know what? I don't want this for her. I don't want to send this negativity down to her, so I made the change. But I don't know how to. All I know, as a matter of fact, God told me this. He said, until you lose so much that it pulls you out of your drunken stupor, you're not going to wake up from that narcissistic spirit. It's going to have to be something traumatic that causes you to see yourself, to want to stop the cycle. And it's going to be some counseling, some self-effort, some self-actualization, some healing with God, some recognizing that people have feelings too. And that's a key thing. Narcissists do not value other people's feelings, time, money, energy, efforts, or any of that. They rarely, if ever, apologize or take accountability for their actions. And they often project problems on you, like, well, you're the problem and you won't do this, and if you did this, then life will be better. They want you to support their dreams, but they don't want to support your dreams. And I was in a long-term relationship with a narcissist who called me a narcissist, and I was just like, what is that? Like, what that is? I don't know what narcissist is. And through that journey, I learned, and I was just like, it sounds more like you than me. But even with that, I started studying more, and then I was like, oh my God, yeah, I was a narcissist when I was with so-and-so based on this definition, but now it's like, you can't call me that because I serve you too. I do too much for you to, so I was the empath serving the narcissist. But hey, you live, you learn. And if you don't learn, you're gonna burn. You're gonna burn bridges, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna burn up, you're gonna just get tired. And death is not always 6 feet under. You can have so much loss But anyway, I'm gonna hit a tag right there because I see some facial expressions going on. Like, let me jump in. Jump in, baby, jump in.
Yeah. So, me coming out was honestly fresh out of a long-term relationship as well with somebody who I thought just was hurt and just needed to understand and know what love is, and really building a spiritual foundation with God and trying to build our relationship and things like that. And it's funny, the points that you're making of, if you did this would be better, saying, oh, if you spent more time with me, then things would get better, or if we moved in together, things would get better. If we did this, things would get better. And it was just like I was doing these things, going over beyond, stepping in, being mom for his children, making sure they were fed and clothed, and if they needed to go to the doctors, making sure somebody gave me the right tools to ensure things were happening. And honestly, narcissists, they also like to keep you away from things or people that show you those signs. And I will say, I think that's what definitely happened in my last relationship. I was in a way secluded from both friends and family, just because of their feelings, feeling like, oh, you don't care about me, oh, you don't love me, oh, you don't spend enough time with me. And I'm just like, okay, but we live together. Okay, but like, I don't see my family, I don't see my friends, I can barely talk to anybody because you always have a problem. And that, thank God that God gave me the strength to actually open my eyes and remove myself from the situation, because not only did I endure trauma, but also financial burdens that affected my credit score, debts, and also just mental, even physical, just weight on me. And so, and it's crazy, these past few weeks have just been like just consistent blessings, like God coming through. Oh, here, rent being paid. Oh, here, one less car note. Oh, weight being lost. Even though certain things happen for me to lose the weight I needed, thank God, I found out, and thank God I've been making the necessary steps to better myself as a person. Also reading my Bible more, speaking with God consistently, like, hey, I'm here for you. Here the tools you need to move on, heal, and also forgiving narcissists and not becoming that as well. Because I will say that last week of our separation, I went to a very dark place, a place where I could have ended up in jail, and I did not care about the consequences. But I chose not to do that, and thank you, Lord, for putting great friends, put me with a great family to ensure that I stayed on the path I needed to stay on to move on and to heal. Whew. Man, if it wasn't for my family and for my friends, woo! Y'all probably saw me on Channel 2 and Fox 5. So, but yes.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, because anybody, after so much verbal, mental, physical, emotional abuse, and empaths do have a very high tolerance of it, but anybody has their limit, and a wise person knows their limits. And even recently, I've been pushed to the limit in a relationship, and it was just like, you know what? Even though it wasn't a narcissistic situation, but it's just like, just when a person reaches their limit, it's just like, I'm done. I'm so done, you know. There's some extremes I may be willing to go through. So the balance of it, what we're trying to say is that when dealing with narcissists, you have to recognize that before you get to that I'm done point, and you recognize you're not getting what you want out of a relationship, you have to love God enough to listen to his advice about your relationship, to love yourself enough to say, I need to listen to what God said, and I need to consult what God said, and I need to recognize that this person is just not for me. Even if you don't believe in God, the point here is that if somebody is not reciprocating in the relationship, there's no relay in the ship. Relay, shun, ship. Give and take. Not give and take crap. Give good and take good. Give some uncomfortable, take some uncomfortable, as we're moving towards some common goal. So I hope you got something that helps you heal. Remember, forgive to live. God's blessings be on you, and thank you for joining in. Good day.